Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to another video. Quickly, I'd like to shout out my partnership once again, Buy Games Cheaper with Instant Gaming. The affiliate link will be down below in the description for you guys to check out if you're interested. Now in this video, we're going to be checking out the Switch Illuminator Attachments mod. Link will be down in the description. Essentially, this mod implements a feature that has been highly anticipated by the community for such a long time. Now in vanilla, ready or not, the game offers multiple firearm devices, and each device has its own purpose, along with the user having the ability to choose what they believe is most practical, depending on the map and personal preference, of course. Now, one device in particular, if we're specifically talking vanilla with no reskins, no models, nothing like that, the default infrared laser device in-game only allows you to use the IR. However, in real life, there are devices that allow you to not only utilize an IR laser, but a visible laser as well, and you can cycle between the two. Along with this, a lot of SWAT officers or Special Forces operators will choose to also mount a flashlight on their firearm as well, if we're talking about rifle setups, of course. So it would be a super realistic feature for the devs of Ready or Not to implement this ability to mount a laser device and a flashlight, as well as allow you to utilize all three devices. The Switch Illuminator mod that we're going to be showcasing allows you to do exactly that, and we're going to check it out. Okay, so checking out the Switch Illuminator mod, we do have to load into a map to see if the mod is actually working. Once it's installed, you cannot do this in the lobby. So as you can see, I've got just this is a modded rifle. I think this is the SR16 or something like that, but either way, this is a modded version of a gun, and we've got the flashlight on the front. I'm going to use the hotkey H, which is the default, and that's going to switch it. Now you'll notice it switches the actual device on the gun itself. We're going to talk about something here in a second, but let's get through this first part first, because there's a way that we can make this more immersive, because this does kind of take away from the immersion a little bit, and I know what a lot of you guys are probably thinking. But either way, the way it works, very simple. We've got the flashlight. We hit it while the device is on, and it turns itself off. So essentially we can do is, got your flashlight out, okay, I want to use the IR now, so now I can switch over to the IR. Maybe we get into a spot that's a little bit too bright and we don't need the IR, which let's be honest, there's a lot of spots that we can get away with just a flashlight. But some people like to use both. I like to use both. I like to have both the NVGs set up as well as a white light. And if I have the choice, I'd absolutely still have the IR laser. I think that should be an option, like we said in the beginning of the video. Let's say, for example, okay, for whatever reason, I want to switch to a visible laser. You can do that as well, turn it off. Let's switch back to the flashlight, and now we've got the flashlight again. Extremely convenient, and you can do it with the pistol as well. IR, and then H, and now we got the visible, and then we can switch back. You don't even really need to turn it off. You can just hit the button and then boom, just like that. So very awesome. I'm glad that somebody found a way to mod this into the game. A lot of you guys are probably thinking though, what about my immersion? I don't like the idea of the devices switching. Is there a mod for this? And the answer is yes. Okay, so we just hopped into another mission with the modded rifle that I wanted to show off. There are 3 rifles like this right now, and the links are in the description. This is a modded, remodeled version of the Mark 18. It is a Daniel defense rifle of some type, and as you can see on the front, it's kind of hard to tell, but there is both a laser device, I don't know what kind of laser device, and a flashlight on the front, and this is fixed to the rifle. It's fixed to the model of the rifle, so it doesn't matter what you do at the menu. If you change the devices, this is going to stay on the gun regardless. What this allows is when you switch those devices like we were showing off previously, it's going to do it without changing anything at the front of the gun. The physical devices at the front, the cosmetics, the aesthetics, whatever you want to call it, those are going to stay there and they will not switch around, which is going to increase your immersion. On the downside of this, obviously, you can't do this with every single gun. You'd have to find a modification for every single rifle in the game, or at least the rifles that make sense for this. Obviously, there's SMGs and there's rifles in the game right now that you probably wouldn't want to run a setup like this, but for most of them, I believe you could. We just need mod developers to actually release modified firearms with these affixed front devices already on the gun that cannot be taken off. And a lot of people do like this this kind of look, this aesthetic look. I really enjoy it because, again, SWAT officers, SWAT operators in real life, they almost always have a laser device at the front and a flashlight on the side, whether it's on the right side or the left side, doesn't matter. Most of the time that's the case. Same thing with military special forces. That is 100% a thing. I think it looks really good. But again, we've only got 3 of these types of rifles. I believe there are 2 that replace the Mark 18, and then there's 1 that replaces the Scar L or the Scar H. Again, those links will be down below. If you guys want to check out those remodel mods, I'd highly recommend, if you're going to be using the Switch Illuminator mod, to definitely check out those firearm remodels. Now, just really quickly before we end off the video, here's what the Scar L remodel looks like, and obviously this isn't a Scar, but this is the Garand Thumb Black Powder Red Earth AR. It looks really nice. Obviously, as you can see, it's got the devices at the front. It's also got the tack light there as well. It's kind of hard to see. Again, in the lobby, we can't play around with the Switch Illuminator, but obviously this is just so you guys can get a good look at it. I can even pause the game here and we can go. I don't know why I didn't do this before on the other gun, but there it is right there. Tack light. And this is super high quality as well. Like, we zoom in here. Look how high quality this looks. This is really nice. Obviously the camera's going a little too fast. But we've got the laser device. It looks like a Steiner or whatever, D-ball. Whatever, not everybody likes D-ball, but still, that's an LAPD thing. I know LAPD does D-balls, I believe, and then we've got the really cool SF tack light. So it looks really awesome. And then lastly here, we've got the DEVGRU rifle, I believe, and this is going to also replace the Mark 18. Now, obviously, you can only have one Mark 18 at once. Super high quality models. I actually wish they would do a black version of this. But the tan looks all right as well. I really enjoy the black aesthetic over the tan aesthetic. But it does look really nice. You zoom in, super high quality. As you can see, it's got the laser device and the light right on there. No idea what laser device or light that is. Looks really nice. And again, only these 3 rifles that I'm showcasing will work in this configuration. Obviously, if you want to try out this mod with the other rifles, you're gonna see that effect of everything switching around on your screen. So if you want to keep things immersive, I'd highly recommend checking out these gun modifications. Even though there's only 2 that you can use, there's 3 you can download, there's only 2 you can use, it's still really good, and it looks really nice. A couple disclaimers here before we end off the video. If you are utilizing the Tappy modification with this mod, you will have to either rebind Tappy or go into a file and rebind the key for Switch Illuminator. It does explain this on the mod page itself. The default key for Switch Illuminator is H, and that's also the default key for Tappy. So I chose to change the hotkey for Tappy. Mine is on J for Juliet. If that's not something that you are comfortable with, obviously there's another way to rebind that Switch Illuminator key. You also are going to need menu mod for this mod to work. One other thing is all players that are in your lobby have to have Switch Illuminator for Switch Illuminator to work at all. So you won't be able to join public lobbies and have the ability to use the Switch Illuminator mod, which I know a lot of people aren't going to enjoy. However, again, this is more for either solo play or playing with a group of people in a set community. Either way, that's all there really is to go off of here. Again, the Switch Illuminator attachment mod will be linked down below. I'd also highly recommend checking out those gun mods that I showcased with you. Those will be linked down there as well. Again, remember, you have to choose between the Daniel Defense or the DEVGRU. You can't have both Mark 18 mods installed, so don't make the mistake of downloading both. If there was any other modification that you noticed during the video, you'll notice those are listed down there below those links, so you guys can check those out. Either way, thank you guys so much for sticking to the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think about this mod down in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.